Okay, so you continue filling out. As soon as you can't fill out anything more in the box, start writing comments underneath in dot point form. I don't in this situation because I can still think of other things I want to add, but if you can't think of something else to add to the boxes, start writing beneath. You don't want to write comments below about things that are obvious above. You want to write about, funnily enough, things that happen in this notation that are to do with unity and contrast. You don't want to say in section A this happens and then in section B this happens, because you've already shown all that. You've shown the whole thing. You're already above a lot of the kids that are going to sit there going this, then this, then this, then this happened, because you've just shown it all. What you really want to write beneath is comments about what created unity and what created contrast by looking at the graph above. Okay, I've just named the sections too. I named them according to the melody. So if it was melody 1, then I called it A. If it was melody 2, then I called it a B section. Every single response I've seen called them different things. So remember, when an examiner's looking at why I named them those things, it's going to be quite clear as to why I thought they were B section or A section, because I've differentiated them by the melodies. Other people thought they went thought the variation on melody 2 was actually a C section. There's a lot of different interpretations of the same piece, but I'm able to justify it, so I'm correct. So are they. Every time you get a playing, you really should be going back to the boxes. Because you're able to get so much more information down in the boxes while listening, and it keeps you focused while listening, and then keep doing the essay in between. I believe the boxes should always come first. That's why I think you should leave, when you're listing instruments, more than 2 lines gap. Okay, so I get down here and I think, oh, what do I write about? I've just named the sections and all that. Remember what we did right at the start? I want to talk about unity and contrast. Again, I've left it all live so that you can see me sort of spelling errors, problems formatting, all that sort of thing, just to show that there's so much you can say, you're just not going to get it out in time. So there I've said unity and contrast is achieved as above, so that ties my big example into the question straight away. And after that, each dot point, I definitely recommend dot point. In fact, I don't recommend it, I demand it. It's dot point. Do dot points. There's no point wasting time writing essays. One thing I know I don't put down in this was that I thought it was in ternary form. Why? Because I forgot to. But when looking at it, you can see it's quite clear above that it goes A, variations of A, then a B section, then it goes back to A. So even to an examiner, I'm still getting marked as if I did say that. Some people thought it was a theme and variations, which would be sort of A, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6.
Here is the 6th and final playing.
Okay, we're up to the 6th and final playing. I already feel that I've got enough in the boxes, so I don't really add anything to the boxes now. I'm just filling out unity and contrast. If I felt that there was like maybe one box blank, then I would keep writing in the essay form. When it gets up to that section, I'd write down one thing. But at the moment, it's time management. I feel that the boxes are excellent. So I start writing down the essay. You notice I still use the graphic notation of the actual melodies just to sort of explain that. Anything that you need to explain in your boxes, it's important you do that. Otherwise, if the examiner doesn't understand, you're not going to get points for it. So most of it I've made fairly clear, but things like melody and then 3 notes down, the melody didn't really go like that. That was just the start of the melody, so I've explained it. There are so many things you can write about the unity and contrast of this piece. Right from the harpsichord playing all the way through, the fact that only two instruments, they just keep swapping back and forth the same melody. They emulate each other's melody. And then you've got contrast, plucked versus bowing. There's just so much that you can possibly say. The beauty of the boxes is you get points for all of these things that are in those boxes that you're not going to have time to write a sentence on, but they're there. I've written ornamentation there. That's a use of contrast. Played straight and then used ornamentation. The thing is, most people will approach the structure question by naming the sections, trying to figure out if it's rondo, ternary, rhapsody, whatever, and then saying what happens in each section. You've already done all that by like the fourth playing. You've done all that, and then you've done the icing on the cake, which is talking about unity and contrast. And when we'll be having a look at some answers later on, you'll see that this will become an exemplar example, meaning that it's actually really, really high band 6. Again, you can see there's quite a long gap at the end. This is normally the part where most students sit back, put their hands behind their head and put their pencil down. Okay, we're done. I can't write anything more. That's sort of everything I had down. That to me is an exceptional response. So if we now go through and have a look at, did I manage to achieve about 12 valid points? Absolutely, well beyond 12 valid points. First of all, I've shown that there were 8 sections. I've showed who was playing in each section. I've showed the variation of texture just by the boxes. Shown where the melody changes, who had the melody. So we're up to like 5 valid points already. Shown, actually drawn the 2 different melodies. Talked about the plucked strings, the duration of each accompaniment figure. Use of ornamentation, the fact that some sections come back, I've noted that. Alright, so here are the actual answers from the marking centre. See, the excerpt consists of 8 short sections. Got it. The accompaniment is played by the strings and harpsichord in all sections. Got it as well. So as an examiner is looking at these answers and then looking at yours, straight away it's so easy to mark. The melody is played by the strings, balanced phrases, that's something we missed, we could have added. Accompaniment, lower strings, they've even called them lower strings.